Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to another one of our music sessions, Ministry in the Music, the beginner's guide for playing by ear. Okay, today we are talking about seventh. Yeah, you got kind of a lisp when you say that, don't we? But seventh chords and seventh progressions and how they fit. All right, so what we're going to talk about today and is, like I say, seventh, and we're going to demonstrate how you use a seventh or a major seventh within a chord, within a scale, and to build out a progression on that. We're going to review some of the things we've done in scales before. Like I say, I'm going to go through these really quickly, but I have other videos that I've recorded that breaks down these things on scales and progressions much more. So go back and review that material with some of our other videos. You can get all of my videos, getlministry.com. All right, what else we're going to talk about? Sevenths and major sevenths and how they fit. And I'm going to teach you a progression. And don't worry about how that looks up there, because I know it's like, whoa, what is all that stuff? It's basically to show you how to take a one major seventh to the 1/7, and then to a 4/2/5. We'll get into that. Stick with me. Then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to apply that, what we've learned, to a couple of songs. So I can show you how they fit. All right, so with that said, I always have to give my disclaimer. You want to learn to play this thing, or any instrument, it takes knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and determination. But you have to practice. You have to. It's critical that you put the time in. Continue to watch my videos, other videos. A lot of great videos out here on YouTube. Thank God for the technology. Before, was not able to do this. All right, so let's quickly talk about a scale. If you review my other videos, you know what makes up a scale. Okay, it's a succession of a whole step, and a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. That pattern, no matter where you start, what note you start on, will give you the scale. So we're going to be in the key of C today. So if we start on C, and then we can walk it down. C to D, whole step. D to E, whole step. E to F, half step. F to G, whole step. G to A, whole step. A to B, whole step. And B back to C, half step. So that right there gave me the scale of C, the key of C. Now also, if you look at the presentation, you see that there's numbers I have underneath all the different notes. What are those numbers for? Well, that's their relationship within the scale. The C is the 1, the D is the 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, B, what we're going to talk about today, is the seventh. And back to the 1, or C, to give us the complete octave. All right, so now, if you remember, we can take each one of those notes and then build out a chord. For instance, a C chord, which is the 1, or the major chord. 2, D is a minor, D minor. 3 is a minor, and this works this way in any scale. The 1 is always major, the 2 is minor, the 3 is a minor, the 4, F, A, C is a major chord. The 5, G, B, D is a major. The 6, in the case, is a minor. The 7 is a diminished. So there we have it. So I took the scale. I started at C. I figured out the scale by using whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Then I took each one of those notes and I made a chord out of them. And now I can do that here again, any key. I'm just using C. Okay, so now if we look at that, well, it's still in the key of C, but I kind of laid my keyboard out a little bit. I kind of flipped it around so that I could have C in the middle of the screen, but it's still a C. I just started in the middle with C is 1, D is 2, 3 is E, and it flips back around. All right, so now let's say if I want to play a C chord, C, E, G, or G, C, E, C, E, G. They're all, that's a C chord, okay? The 1, the 3, and the 5. Now, if I'm going to make this a 7th, if you notice this, what is the 7th? I'm waiting for it. You said B? Did you say B? Honestly? Don't lie to me. Did you say B? Okay, you did. All right, you're right. The B which is 1/2 step down from the root, is the 7th, major 7th. So now if I play all those together, the G, the B, the C, and the E, I've just played a C major 7th chord. And you know what else? If you're playing along with me, you just played a C major 7th chord. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I get a little excited sometimes. All right, reel it in. All right, so C major 7th. Now, if I drop it down one more half step to a B flat, that will give me a C 7th chord. Now, can you hear the difference? All I've changed is one note, 1/2 step. That's all. Started from here to here for the major 7th to right there. You hear the difference and how the tonal qualities change? Because as you learn to play by ear, you start recognizing what those chord sounds, which is a good thing, because that way when you hear new songs, you want to learn how to play it. Pretty soon you start picking that up like, oh, I know what he's doing there. He's playing a C. He's playing a C major 7th, and he's playing a C 7th. Okay, so that's how that works. So that is the heart of the C and the 7th, the major 7th and the 7th. Now, if you listen to this, I can't just play a whole song right there. I have to go somewhere with it. Normally where you go after that would be to the 4, which in the key of C is F. That's right, F, A, C. All right, so I started with the 1, C, 1 major 7th, with the where it went down to the B. I just dropped the C down to the B, 1 7th. I dropped it down another half step to the B flat and to the 4. Got it? You want to do it again? Okay, let's do it again. One more time. C, C major 7th, C 7th, 4, F. All right, so there you have a simple progression. Now, when we look at how these put together, C, C, E, G, C major 7th, C, E, G, B, C 7th, C, E, G, B flat. They're all variations of a C chord. They're still a major C chord, but now I just have variations of the C chord. And how do you see that annotated? Let's say if you're looking at some lead sheet type music where you have the word lyrics and then you have chords at the top. Well, what you're going to see normally, a C major is just typically written as just a C. Sometimes they may have major, but rarely. But if it's a C major 7th, then you're going to see it superscript up above, C major 7th. That's adding the B. And a C 7th, you're just going to see the C with the superscript 7th right there next to it. Now, many times, as you probably noticed as I was playing this, I dropped the root out of the chord. When I say root, the C, in this case, is the root of the chord. So sometimes you do that, just depending on what you're playing, because you start adding a lot of notes in there. Sometimes it can get a little muddy, you got a lot of things going on at the same time. So you just, you can just drop that C right out of that, and you still get a good effect. All right, that makes sense, doesn't it? I'll tell you what. Now let's go to a song. Now I'm gonna go back, way back, to a song that, especially if you're like my age or maybe a little younger, you may remember. But this song right here by a group called Atlantic Starr, they perfected this progression. That's pretty much the whole song is based on this progression. You remember it's called Always. Girl, you are to me all that a woman should be. All right, let's break that down. I see y'all out there. You got a little groove going. I know, but no. Let's bring it back. Reel it in. Okay. So they started that song on a C. Girl, you are. And to me, they dropped it half step. To me. And then it went to All That a Woman. They just dropped another half step to a seventh. All that a... And where'd they go from there? Back to the 4. Woman should be. Now, I don't know what key. I don't remember the key they actually recorded that song. And I'm just using C because that's where we're working. So I just transposed that to C. All right, so let's try it again. Da, da, da. La, da, 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 da. Got it? Practice. If you need to, just practice that piece over and over. All right, but I'm going to move ahead. And you know what? I'm just going to show you the rest of the song because the rest of the song builds out the progression. A 1, major 7th, 7th, to the 4, to the 2, and to a 5. Well, it's a modified 5. I'll show you when I get there. Okay, so we started with the 7th to the 4. Now we're going to go to the 2, which is going to be a D minor, and then to a modified 5, and then back to the 1. So when I say a modified 5, what I mean, I'm just taking the G, which would be the 5, but I'm actually playing an F chord, F-A-C, and I'm putting the G in right just down the bass, and then I resolve back to the C. When I use that word resolve, that means that brings you back, and you hear it. You know, the song can't stop here. Yeah, so you got to resolve it. Otherwise, you got people yelling at you. Okay, I'm out of breath trying to sing this thing. All right, so let's try the whole song. Girl, you are to me all that a woman should be, and I dedicate my life to you always. Got it? We'll do it again. I don't remember the second verse. I know. Girl, you are to me all that a woman should be, and I, to the 2, dedicate, F with the G in the bass, my life to you. Stay right there. All, and back to the C. Always. Got it? Yeah. You just got through playing Atlantic Star. Now, I know somebody's probably watching this video going, oh my God, what kind of wretched fool is this? Playing that secular music. Okay, let's take a minute, because you know I always love adding a little teaching moment. It's just chords, guys. It's just chords, okay? How you use these chords is based on the intent and the purpose of your heart and what is in your spirit, okay? Yeah, that's it. I'll give you an example. We love hymns. Many of us, you know, from our generation, we are just locked in on hymns, right? And I love hymns, love them. But you do realize that many of the hymns that we cherish so much, the lyrics were written by one individual, and many times those lyrics were set to secular music at that time. Yeah. You know, some folk music, some of this folk tunes, just different types of instrumental music that was being produced and written at that time. Okay, so when we look at music, you know, just don't get caught up into this is the world and this is secular. No, get caught up into what is in the heart. Because I tell you, I listen sometimes to things that we have categorized or cataloged as gospel music, and I'm going, oh my God, no. When I start listening to the lyrics, when I look at the performances, I'd much rather sit and listen to Atlantic Star, because they were talking, that was a love song. That was love. That was a song of songs, Song of Solomon, as opposed to some of this stuff that I hear that's being portrayed as what we have called gospel music. Okay, now let's move to another song, all right? Now this one, for all you worship lovers, you will recognize this one also. Song written by Paul Baluch a while back. It's been re-recorded. Michael W. Smith. Many people have recorded this. But it uses a very similar progression. It's a little modified. It's called Open the Eyes of My Heart. Okay, it starts off same thing with C, with the 1. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord, The next line, it just goes to the C major 7th. Open the eyes of my heart. Now what it does, it goes right to the 4 from here. It doesn't go to the C7. I want to see you. Then it does the same thing to the 2. I want to, and it uses the same, you can use the exact same 4 over the 5, the F with the G and the bass. See you, resolve back to the C. Let's try it again. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. Got it? C major 7 to the 4. 2. All right, there we have it. 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 I hope you learned something today from this. Go home. You're probably already at home. I hope you're not driving watching this. But practice, dissect it. If you got comments, questions, leave me a comment. Leave me a note. Let me know how I'm doing. God bless you. And as I always say, keep praising, keep practicing, and just keep believing, because prayer, praise, practice, it'll get you to where you'll be playing pretty soon, okay? God bless you. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church.